Hello dear students, how are you? I hope all of you are staying at home and trying to keep yourself safe and sound, and at the same time you are taking the advantage of these live classes. Today I would like to welcome you to my 6th lecture on transformation of sentence. Today I will mainly focus on a specific segment on transformation of sentence. Today I will talk about the rules and regulations by which you will be able to transform transformation of sentence related to assertive to interrogative and vice versa. But before teaching you the rules and regulations of this segment, I would like to at first give you some fundamental conception about assertive sentence and interrogative sentence. So dear students, at first we are going to learn some basics about assertive sentence and interrogative sentence. After learning about the basics, we will try to learn the rules and regulations of transformations related to assertive to interrogative and vice versa. So, what is our first target today? Our first target today is to learn about some elementary conception about assertive sentence and interrogative sentence. So, come to the point and look at the board. And today, my dear students, you are requested to be ready because I will use a lot of examples, and at first you have to try to transform, and while I will write the answer on the board and you are requested to match your answer with mine. So look at the board. At first our main target is to acquire some basic information about assertive sentence and interrogative sentence. Look at the board. Assertive sentence. Assertive sentence, it has another name which is called declarative sentence. Assertive sentence has another name that is called declarative sentence. There are some key concepts about assertive sentence. Assertive sentence or declarative sentence expresses statement or assertion. Can be both affirmative, or negative. So the first key concept about assertive or declarative sentence is it expresses statement or assertion. Assertive sentence can be affirmative or negative. Ends with a period. What does period mean? Here period means full stops. So assertive sentence normally expresses statement or assertion. Assertive sentence can be either affirmative or negative. Assertive sentence or declarative sentence ends with a period. Period means full stop. Then interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence makes questions. Ends with question mark. So, I'm going to repeat. Assertive sentence must express statement or assertion. Assertive sentence can be either affirmative or negative, and assertive sentence or declarative sentence must end with a period. Period means full stop. Interrogative sentence makes questions, and at the end of the sentence we will use a question mark. Okay, these are the basic concepts about assertive sentence and interrogative sentence. Assertive sentence maintains a normal structure, that is, there is a normal structure that assertive sentence maintains. And what is the normal structure? Look at the board. Assertive sentence normally or usually starts with subject. Assertive sentence normally starts with subject, then this subject is followed by a verb, then comes object. Subject, verb, object. This is the real structure of assertive sentence. Normally assertive sentence starts with subject, this subject is followed by verb, then comes object or extension. But interrogative sentence starts with auxiliary verb. Interrogative sentence starts with auxiliary verb. This auxiliary verb is followed by subject. Then blah 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 blah. At first auxiliary verb, then subject, then there may be main verb, then extension or other things. But at the end of this interrogative sentence, we have to use question mark. So look at the basic structure. Subject, verb, object. This is the normal structure of assertive sentence, but interrogative sentence normally starts with auxiliary verb, then comes the subject, and after subject there will be the main verb. Main verb may not be there also. If there is no main verb, only auxiliary verb is able to make question in interrogative sentence. So these are the basic conceptions about assertive and interrogative sentence. Now I would like to give you the rules and regulations by which you will be able to transform sentences related to assertive to interrogative and vice versa. Today I have told you that I will give you a lot of examples and I will give you time so that you can write your answer or you can try by yourself. So, after learning about the basic conceptions of assertive and interrogative sentence, today, now I am going to tell you the rules and regulations of transformation regarding assertive to interrogative and vice versa. This is our target of discussion today. Now I am going to start with rule number 1. Transformation of sentence related to assertive to interrogative and vice versa. So what is our target today? Our target is to learn assertive to interrogative. Assertive to interrogative and vice versa. Rule number 1. Normally, if we want to turn an assertive sentence into interrogative, normally if we want to turn assertive sentence into interrogative, we have to look for auxiliary verbs. We have to look for auxiliary verbs. if auxiliary verb is used directly in an assertive sentence, we can take the help of this auxiliary verb in interrogative. Our first rule is, if there is any auxiliary verb used in assertive sentence, if there is any auxiliary verb used in assertive sentence, we can make it negative by putting the auxiliary verb at the beginning of interrogative sentence. So, look at the word. Mother has cooked some delicious iftar items. Mother has cooked some delicious iftar items. This is one example. I'd like to give you another example. The boy has not missed classes this session. Look at, mother has cooked some delicious iftar items. This is an example of assertive sentence. The boy has not missed classes this session. This is an example of assertive sentence also. But I told you at the beginning of my lecture that assertive sentence can be either affirmative or negative. This assertive sentence contains affirmative sense and this one contains negative. If assertive sentence is in affirmative form, in order to make interrogative, we have to make it negative. If assertive is affirmative, interrogative will be negative. If assertive is negative, interrogative will be affirmative. So, I am going to repeat. If assertive sentence is in interrogative form, in assertive sentence is in affirmative form, interrogative sentence will be negative. If assertive sentence is in negative form, interrogative will be affirmative. If it is affirmative, interrogative will be negative. If it is negative, interrogative will be affirmative. But how to make questions? If auxiliary verb is used in assertive sentence directly, we have to take the help of this auxiliary. In order to make an assertive sentence into interrogative, we have to look for auxiliary verbs. If auxiliary verbs are used in assertive sentences, we have to put this auxiliary verb at the beginning of interrogative. So, look at how we can turn this sentence into interrogative. Here, I have told you that in order to make interrogative, we have to start with auxiliary verbs. We have to start with auxiliary verbs. Have you got any auxiliary in this sentence? I'd like to give you some examples. Actually, I'd like to give you some concept about auxiliary verbs. There are a lot of auxiliary verbs in English language. I'd like to tell you some of the auxiliaries. The auxiliary verbs that can be helpful in this portion of grammar are am, is, are, was, were, have, has, had, do, does, did. These are the auxiliary verbs. I'm going to repeat. Am, is, are, was, were, have, has, had, do, does, did. These are the auxiliaries. There are some modal auxiliaries also. Shall, should, may, might, can, could, will, would, must, need, dare, ought to. These are the modal auxiliary verbs. I'm going to tell you am, is, are, was, were, have, has, had, do, does, did, shall, should, may, might, can, could, will, would, must, need, dare, ought to. These are the auxiliary verbs. If these auxiliary verbs are used directly in an assertive sentence, it is easy to turn this sentence into interrogative. Now, I can turn this sentence into interrogative. Look at. Have you got any auxiliary verb in this sentence? I think you have got. What is the auxiliary verb of this sentence? The auxiliary verb in this sentence is has. So, we have to put the auxiliary verb has at the beginning of the sentence. Now, we have to consider whether this sentence is in affirmative or negative form. This is an affirmative sentence. If assertive sentence is in affirmative form, we have to make it negative. That means we have to put not in the interrogative sentence. That means if assertive is affirmative, interrogative will be negative. To make it negative, we have to use not. I'd like to suggest you that if you want to make negative interrogative, please use the contracted form. Contracted form means the short form. Has plus not. It's called hasn't. I have used hasn't. I have taken the auxiliary verb. I have put the auxiliary verb at the beginning of the sentence. I have put not because this is in affirmative form. I have used auxiliary verb and not. I have used contracted form. Contracted form. Contracted form in Bengali it is called সংক্ষিপ্ত রূপ. What is the contracted form of has plus not? It is hasn't. So I have used hasn't. Then the subject will come. What is the subject of this sentence? Mother. Hasn't mother. There is a main verb cooked. Some delicious iftar items, but must end with question mark. So at first the auxiliary verb will come at the very beginning of the sentence. If it is affirmative, it will be negative. If it is negative, it will be affirmative. This is an example of affirmative. That's why I have used not with auxiliary verb, and I have used the contracted form. So what is the answer of this sentence? Hasn't mother cooked some delicious iftar items? You must not forget to put question mark at the end of the sentence. How can we turn this sentence into interrogative? This assertive sentence is affirmative or negative. This one is negative. If it is negative, we will not use any negative in interrogative. I'm going to repeat. If assertive sentence is affirmative, interrogative will be negative. If assertive sentence is negative, interrogative sentence will be affirmative. So, how to turn this sentence into interrogative? I have taken the auxiliary verb at the beginning of the sentence. That means I have put the auxiliary verb at the beginning of the sentence. I will not use any not because this assertive sentence is negative, and as it is negative, we will not make interrogative negative. We will make just interrogative with affirmative sense. So I will not use any not. Has, then the subject, the boy, then the main verb, missed, classes, this session. Definitely it is a must. It is a must. So rule number 1 tells us that if assertive sentence has any auxiliary verb in it, we have to put the auxiliary verb before the subject. If assertive sentence is affirmative, we have to make it negative by adding not to the auxiliary verb, and after auxiliary verb we will put the subject. If any main verb is used, we have to use the main verb after the subject. So auxiliary verb, subject, then main verb, then extension or other things. This sentence, look at this sentence. At first I have used the auxiliary verb. As it is negative, I have omitted the use of not. Then I have put the subject, then the main verb, then extension. But in order to make interrogative, it is a must to use question mark at the end of these sentences. So, at first, the auxiliary verb will be used before the subject, then main verb. If assertive sentence is affirmative, interrogative will be negative. If assertive sentence is negative, interrogative will be affirmative. Okay? Now, I'd like to give some examples and you are requested to try. She won't tell a lie. She won't tell a lie. This is a declarative sentence, an assertive sentence, and this assertive sentence is negative. Now turn this assertive sentence into interrogative. How can we do that? At first we have to look for auxiliary verbs, and auxiliary verb is here. Will plus not is equal to won't. So in this contracted form we will get the auxiliary verb will. So if we want to turn this assertive sentence into interrogative, we have to put the auxiliary verb at the beginning of the sentence. And what is the auxiliary verb used here? The auxiliary verb is will. As it is negative, we will not make negative interrogative. We will omit the use of not. Then the subject will come. Then main verb. Will she tell a lie? This is the interrogative of this assertive sentence. I would like to give another example. My sister is willing to go. My sister is willing to go. Dear students, you are requested to turn this sentence into interrogative. You are requested to turn this sentence into interrogative. Hurry up, my dear students. I am going to tell you the answer. At first, the auxiliary verb is, this sentence is affirmative. I can make negative, isn't. Then the subject, my sister. Isn't my sister, then main verb, then extension. Isn't my sister willing to go? I think you have got up to this portion. If we don't get any auxiliary verb directly used in assertive sentence, what will we do? Dear students, very often you will get some of assertive sentence without having any direct auxiliary verb. That means, in other words, we can say there are some assertive sentences where auxiliary verbs are not directly used. What can we do then to turn these sentences into interrogative? There are many assertive sentences where auxiliary verbs are not directly used. Now, what can we do to turn these assertive sentences into interrogative? Look at it. The teacher embodies exceptional qualities. This is an example of assertive sentence, and this assertive sentence is affirmative. We need to turn this assertive sentence into interrogative. But look at, in this sentence, in this sentence we haven't got any auxiliary verb which is directly used. That means here you will not get any direct auxiliary verb. But we know that in order to make an interrogative sentence, we must have to use auxiliary verb at the beginning of the sentence, or you can say before the subject of the sentence. So what is the auxiliary verb? If there is no direct auxiliary verb in assertive sentence, we have to pick up auxiliary verb from main verb. If there is no auxiliary verb directly used in assertive sentence, we have to put do or does or did. We have to use do or does or did as auxiliary verbs. If the main verb is in present form, we have to use do. If there is any s or es with the verb, we have to use does. If the verb is in past form, we have to use did. Do, does, did. These three auxiliaries are used. If you don't get any direct auxiliary verbs in assertive sentence. So, as this sentence has a main verb and that is embodies, and as this verb is with s or es, we have to start with does. As this sentence is affirmative, we need to use not, doesn't. Then the subject will come. Doesn't the teacher embody exceptional qualities? Don't forget to put question mark at the end of this sentence because this is interrogative sentence. So, if you don't get any direct auxiliary verbs in assertive sentence, please add do or does or did as the auxiliary verb, and do or does or did are used according to the form of main verb. I think you have got it. Now I'd like to give another example, and you are requested to turn this assertive sentence into interrogative by yourselves. Books of great writers contain noble thoughts. Books of great writers contain noble thoughts. Look at my dear students. Books of great writers contain noble thoughts. Turn this assertive sentence into interrogative. Hurry up, my dear students. Turn this assertive sentence into interrogative. I hope you have tried. Now I am going to give you the answer. Have you got any auxiliary verb in this sentence which is directly used? Have you got any auxiliary verb which is used directly in this sentence? Definitely not. There is no direct auxiliary used in this sentence. As there is no direct auxiliary used in this sentence, we have to take the use of do or does or did. But which form should I use? Do or does or did? It depends on the main verb of this sentence. It depends on the main verb of this sentence. What is the main verb of this sentence? The main verb of this sentence is books of great writers. This portion belongs to subject. This is the main verb of this sentence. As it is in present form, we have to use do. As this sentence is affirmative, we have to use don't. Then the subject will come. Don't books of great writers contain novel thoughts. Please don't forget to put question mark. A lot of students in their final exam lose marks because of not using question mark. Please don't forget to put question mark. So, don't books of great writers contain novel thoughts. Dear students, some of you might be confused whether we have any opportunity of using this not separately. Do we have any opportunity to use not separately in interrogative sentence? Definitely we have. Look at it. We can use this not separately in interrogative sentence. But if we want to use this not separately, we need to be careful. We need to consider an important issue. You can use this not separately, but you have to remember one thing in mind, and that is Shishir has come. Shishir has come. If we want to turn this sentence into interrogative, we know we have to put has, then not. My question is, can we use this not separately? Yes, we can. If you use this not separately, you have to think whether the subject is noun or pronoun. If the subject of an interrogative sentence is noun, I'm going to tell you, if the subject of an interrogative sentence is noun, what should you use? The not will be used before the word not will be used before the subject. Has not Shishir come? You can use it because this is noun. If it is pronoun, I will go. You can use not separately. If the subject is pronoun, you have to use will I not go. You can use this not separately, but if the subject is noun, you have to put this separate not before the subject. If the subject is pronoun, you have to put this not after the subject. So, not is used before noun in interrogative sentence and after pronoun in interrogative sentence. So we have to put not before the subject, and we have to use not after the subject if the subject is pronoun. Before noun and after pronoun. But I have one recommendation and one request for you. Please don't use the not separately. If you use contracted form, I think there remains no risk of losing marks. So I would suggest you to use the contracted form. Don't use the not separately, please. So this is all about rule number 1. I'm going to give you the summary of rule number 1. If you want to turn an assertive sentence into interrogative, please put the auxiliary verb before the subject. If assertive sentence is affirmative, please make it negative by adding not. If assertive sentence is negative, please don't make interrogative negative. Okay? And if you get any knot, please use the contracted form of this knot, and please don't forget to put question mark at the end of the sentence. This is all about rule number 1. So what is the basic formula of making interrogative sentence? Just to put the auxiliary verb before the subject. We need to make interrogative sentence by putting the auxiliary verb before the subject. And if you have any main verb in the sentence, please put the main verb after the subject. So, subject will be used in between auxiliary verb and main verb. This is all about rule number 1. Now, I'd like to tell you something about rule number 2. Rule number 2, my dear students. If we get any use of never, any use of nothing, any use of none, if you get the use of these words in assertive sentence. If in assertive sentence you get the use of never, nothing, none, these 3 words are negative. If you get the use of never, please don't use any negative not. That means not. You are not allowed to use any not in interrogative, but you must have to use ever in interrogative sentence. If you get never in assertive sentence, you have to use ever in interrogative sentence. If you use nothing in assertive sentence, you have to use anything in interrogative sentence. If you get none in assertive sentence, you have to use anyone. These all are negative. If you get never, please use ever in interrogative. If you get nothing, please use anything. If you get none, please use anyone. Okay? Please keep these words in mind. Now I'd like to give an example. The authority has nothing to say. The authority has nothing to say. Look at, the authority has nothing to say. This is an assertive sentence. I can turn this assertive sentence into interrogative. What is the main formula of making interrogative sentence? The important formula of turning assertive sentence into interrogative is to put the auxiliary verb before the subject. So what is the auxiliary verb in this sentence? The auxiliary verb is has. But my dear students, look at, we will not use any not because this nothing has made this sentence negative. So we are not allowed to use any not. But I have told you that if you get nothing, you will not use any not, but you have to use anything. So what is the answer? Has the authority anything to say? Question mark. Has the authority anything to say? If you get nothing, don't use not, but you have to use anything. I'd like to give another example for rule number 2. Now it is your turn to practice. I will not at first give you the answer. You have to practice by yourselves, and after my writing on the board, after my answer on the board, you are requested to match. We saw none yesterday. We saw none yesterday. Word, just turn it into interrogative. Make interrogative. How can we turn this sentence into interrogative? Look at it. Please write down your answer in the comment box. I think you have tried. Now I'd like to give you the answer. At first, we have to look for the auxiliary verb. What is the auxiliary verb? Is there any auxiliary verb used in this sentence directly? No. So we have to look for do or does or did. Now look at the main verb. What is the main verb? The main verb is saw. So we have to use did. But don't make mistakes by adding not, because none is there. If you get none, please don't use not, but use anyone. Did we see anyone yesterday? Yes, students, did we see? We know that after do or does or did, we have to use the base form of the main verb. Did we see anyone yesterday? This is the answer of this question. So this is all about rule number 2. I'm going to summarize rule number 2 right now. If you get any never, don't use not, but use ever. If you get nothing, please use anything. If you get none, please use anyone. This is all about rule number 2. I think you have got it. Now, my dear students, I'm going to start with rule number 3. This is really important for your question, for your examination. Very often questions are given from rule number 3. Rule number 3 is related to everybody, everyone, all. Rule number 3 is related to everybody, everyone, and all. If you get any use of everybody or everyone or all as the subject of assertive sentences. If everybody, everyone, and all are used as the subjects of assertive sentences, this rule will be in force. If everybody, everyone, and all are used as the subjects of assertive sentences, what will we do to turn into interrogative? But be clear, these words will be the subjects of these assertive sentences. If you get, I'm going to repeat, if you get any use of everybody, everyone, or all as the subjects of an assertive sentence, if we want to turn this into interrogative, we have to start with who. If you get any use of everybody or everyone or all, in order to make interrogative, we have to use who. And after who, we have to use not with the verb plus extension, blah 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 blah, question mark. Look at if we get the use of everybody, everyone or all as the subjects of assertive sentences, in order to make interrogative, we have to start with who, and after who, we must have to use not with the verb. I'd like to give an example. Everybody wants to become vet. What is the subject of this sentence? The subject is everybody. I think rule number 3 can be applicable here. You have got the subject, and what is the subject of this sentence? The subject of this sentence is everybody. And what is our rule? If these 3 words are used as the subjects of assertive sentences, this rule can be implemented. What is the rule? We have to start with who. Then we have to use not with the verb. What is the verb here? The verb is once. If we add not with once, it would be who doesn't want. Who doesn't want to become great? My dear students, if you get any use of everybody or everyone or all as the subject of an assertive sentence, and in order to turn it into interrogative, we have to start with who, and after who we will use not with the main verb and use contracted form, and the extension will be after this portion. And please don't forget to put question mark at the end of the sentence. This is all about rule number 3. I am going to give you an example, and you are requested to turn this assertive sentence into interrogative. Dear students, if you fail to understand me, today I am conducting my lecture in English language. I am not using any Bengali language today. If you face any difficulty, please write in the comment box where your problem is. After my lecture, I will try to help you. Please, if you have any kind of problem in understanding me regarding any rule, you can share your problem in the comment box. Definitely I will answer you, and I'm sure you have got your answer of the previous 2 classes, and I have almost replied everybody. I'm going to give you another example of rule number 3. Now it is your turn to transform assertive sentence into interrogative. Everyone has come. Everyone has come. What is the make it interrogative, my dear students. Everyone has come. Make it interrogative. I think you have tried. Now I'd like to give the answer. The sentence is with everyone as the subject, so I should use who. Then I have told you after who we have to use not. What is the verb here? Has. I should say who hasn't come. I think it is really easy. What do you think, my dear students? This is really easy. So this is all about rule number 3. Now, my dear students, I am going to start with rule number 4, and I am sure you are trying to understand what I am saying. Now rule number 4. Rule number 4 is almost related to rule number 3. Rule number 4 is almost related to rule number 3. But there is a bit difference between rule number 3 and 4. But I am telling you that there is a close connection between rule number 3 and 4. But obviously, there is a difference between rule number 3 and 4 also. If you get any use of every at the beginning of an assertive sentence, if you get any use of every at the beginning of an assertive sentence, and if you get any separate noun after every, if you get any use of every at the beginning of an assertive sentence, and if there is a separate noun, my dear students, rule number 4 is implemented then. Every plus separate noun. I think I can give an example. Every man tries to subdue the herd of. Every man tries to subdue. Subdue means win or conquer. In Bengali it is called joy kora. Every man tries to subdue the herd of others. Here I have started with every, but I have used a separate noun after every. That's why rule number 4 is applicable. So how can I turn this assertive sentence into interrogative? How can? If you get any use of every, and after this every, if you get any use of a separate noun, you have to start with is there any. To make it interrogative, you have to start with is there any. After any, you have to use the noun. After noun, you have to use who. And after who, you have to use not with verb. Who plus not with verb. This is all about rule number 3. I told you that rule number 3 must be started with who, then not with the main verb. But in rule number 4, you have to start with is there any plus noun, then rule number 3. If you get any use of every, and after this every, if you get a separate noun, you have to start with is there any plus noun, then who plus negative. So what should be the answer? Is there any? Look at, I think you can try also. Dear students, you can try also with me. Is there any? Then what should be written? Write your answer in the comment box, please. What should be the answer? You have to maintain this format. Is there any? What is the noun here? The noun is man. Is there any man? Then what will come? Who? Is there any man who? You have to, this is the main verb, you have to put not with the verb. Is there any man who doesn't try to blah 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 question mark. Look at. You are requested to match your answer with mine. Is there any man who doesn't try to subdue the heart of others? So I can think that you have got the difference between rule number 3 and 4. Rule number 3 must be started with who, then not with the main verb, then not with the verb. And for rule number 4, you have to start with is there any. After this any, you have to use now, then who plus negative. I'd like to give another example. I am going to give you another example of rule number 4 and you are requested to turn this sentence into interrogative. Every person wishes to exist. Every person wishes to exist. Every person wishes to exist. What should be? Make this sentence interrogative. What is your answer? What is your answer, my dear students? Should I start? Yes, I would like to. Look at. For every, is there any? What is the noun? Person. Then who? Then wishes is the verb. I should say doesn't wish to exists. Question mark. I think you have been successful to make it interrogative. I have completed rule number 4. Now start with rule number 5. Dear students, I have completed rule number 4. That means I have completed 4 rules. Now I'd like to start with rule number 5. Rule number 5 is really easy. Seriously, it is really easy. Nobody, none, no one. Dear students, nobody, none, no one. Rule number 5. Nobody, none, no one. If nobody, none, no one are used as the subject of a sentence. If nobody, none, no one are used as the subject of a sentence, rule number 5 can be applicable. When nobody, none, no one are used as the subject of an assertive sentence, what should we do to turn it into negative? I'd like to give an example. None can count my love for you. None can count my love for you. Dear students, none can count my love for you. I have started with none. And this is an example of assertive sentence. And this assertive sentence is in affirmative form. If you get any use of nobody or none or no one as the subject of an assertive sentence, In order to turn it into interrogative, you have to start with who. Who will be used instead of who is used, instead of nobody, none, no one. And after this who, there is no change of the sentence. Just put question mark at the end of this interrogative sentence. Just in lieu of nobody, none, no one, use just who, and after this who, there will be no change of anything here. All the things will be same. Just put who in lieu of nobody, none, no one. So I'm going to summarize. If you get the use of nobody, none, no one as the subject of an assertive sentence, in order to turn it negative, please start with who instead of nobody, none, no one. After this who, there will be no change. Just put question mark at the end of the sentence. So what is the answer here? None can count for love for you. Make this sentence interrogative. I have used who for none, then who can count my love for you. This is interrogative. I think you have got rule number 5. I'd like to give another example of rule number 5. None is permitted. None is permitted to go. None is permitted to go. And you have got the use of none. You have got the use of none as the subject of the sentence. So what is your answer, my dear students? What is your answer, my dear students? Please write down in the comment box. None is permitted to go. Make this sentence interrogative. I think I should give the answer. Who is permitted to go? This is all about rule number 5. Now, rule number 6. What is the rule number 6? It's very easy. If we get the use of nothing as the subject of an assertive sentence, in rule number 6, nothing is used as the subject of an assertive sentence. If nothing is used as the subject of an assertive sentence, what we will do to turn it negative, interrogative? Example: nothing is durable. This is the subject of the sentence. If you get any use of nothing as the subject of an assertive sentence, in order to turn it interrogative, just use what at the beginning, and after this what, don't change anything. So what should be the answer? What is durable? So if we get any subject like nothing at in assertive sentence, in order to turn it negative, just in lieu of nothing, use what. After this what, no change will be there. Just put a question mark. This is all about rule number 6. Now rule number 7. Dear students, rule number 7. Sometimes you will get this use. It doesn't matter. If we get it doesn't matter at the beginning of an assertive sentence. If we get it doesn't matter at the beginning of an assertive sentence, to make interrogative, we have to use what though at the beginning of interrogative sentence instead of this part. So it doesn't matter. If you get it doesn't matter at the beginning of an assertive sentence, to turn it into interrogative, use what though in lieu of it doesn't matter. Then nothing will change. I'd like to give an example. It doesn't matter if the match is suspended. It doesn't matter if the match is suspended. This is an example of assertive sentence, and I have started with it doesn't matter. To turn it interrogative, we have to start with what though. So because of this, I can say what though, then this portion will not change. What though if the match is suspended. Look at my students. For it doesn't matter, you have to start with what though, and after what though, nothing will change. So we have completed up to rule number 7. Just one rule is left. Just one rule is left regarding assertive to interrogative and vice versa. Just one rule is left, and after completing rule number 8, we will come to an end for today. So let us start with rule number 8, the last rule for today's class. Rule number 8. Rule number 8 is related to complex sentence. Rule number 8 is related to complex sentence. Dear students, I am going to repeat. Rule number 8 is related to complex sentence. In my first lecture, I told you that complex sentence consists of one principal clause and one subordinate clause. Complex sentence consists of one principal clause and one subordinate clause. If in assertive sentence, complex sentence is used, what should we do then to turn this complex sentence into interrogative? Rule number 8 is related to complex sentence. If we are given an assertive sentence, and if this assertive sentence belongs to complex, what should we do to make it interrogative? She will come when the class is over. She will come when the class is over. This is an example of simple or complex or compound. What do you think? Definitely this is an example of complex sentence because she will come. This is principal clause. When the class is over is subordinate clause. And this complex sentence, this complex sentence is in assertive. If we want to turn this sentence into interrogative, we will face a problem. And what is the problem? Which clause should I use to turn into interrogative? If you get any use of complex sentence in assertive, in order to make interrogative, please look at the principal clause. And what is the principal clause? She will come. What is the subordinate clause? When the class is over. The rule is we have to make interrogative by taking the help of principal clause. If you get any principal clause and subordinate clause, that means if you get any complex sentence, please make interrogative only in principal clause part. Subordinate clause will be totally unchanged. So we have to take the help of she will come. This is not important for us. She will come. What is the interrogative of this one? She will come. What is the auxiliary verb here? Will. Is it affirmative or negative? This is affirmative. We have to turn it into negative. So I should say won't she come. This part I have told you that won't she come when the class is over? Question mark. So what is our decision, my dear student? Our decision is if you get any complex sentence and if you are asked to turn this sentence into interrogative, please take the help of principal clause. Only principal clause will be turned into interrogative. Only principal clause will be turned into interrogative. Subordinate clause will remain the same. I'd like to give you another example of this rule. If we cut down trees, we are sure of facing environment catastrophe. If we cut down trees, we are sure of facing environment catastrophe. This is an example of complex sentence. This is subordinate clause. This is principal clause. If we are told to turn this sentence into interrogative, should we use principal clause or subordinate clause? I have given my decision that we have to take the help of principal clause. And what is the principal clause here? We are sure of facing environment catastrophe. We need to turn this portion interrogative. How can we do that? I have told you that in order to make interrogative, we have to start with auxiliary verb. What is the auxiliary verb of the principal clause? Are. Is it affirmative or negative? This is affirmative. To make it, so we need to make it negative. Aren't. What is the subject? We. Aren't we sure of facing environment catastrophe? then the subordinate clause will be written. That means if we are told to turn a complex sentence into interrogative, we have to start with principal clause, then subordinate clause will be written after this principal clause. Aren't we sure of facing environmental catastrophe? If we cut down trees, please don't forget to put question mark. So my dear students, I have completed 8 rules. No rule is left. This is all about the rules by which you can transform assertive sentence to interrogative or interrogative to assertive. In the meanwhile, after this class, I have completed transformation of sentence regarding simple complex compound. I have completed the rules regarding affirmative to negative and vice versa. I have completed assertive to interrogative and vice versa. I have completed 3 important segments today. That means on Sunday, tomorrow I have another class, and tomorrow at 2 p.m. I will start with another segment of transformation of sentence, and that will be assertive to exclamatory and vice versa. So, my dear students, up to this part, I would like to thank you for staying with me. I'm sure you have got some lesson on learning from this class. If you face any problem, I'm repeating, if you get or face any problem, please write in the comment box. I will try my level best to give you a solution. So, time has come to an end. This is all for today. I'd like to welcome you to my next lecture that will be held tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.